Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders find themselves at a critical juncture this week as they prepare for a pivotal clash against the Las Vegas Raiders. The spotlight is squarely on quarterback Marcus Mariota, who is being readied to start with Jayden Daniels sidelined for Wednesday's practice due to a lingering knee issue. This development has sent waves of anticipation and concern through the Commanders' fan base, and the narrative unfolding is one of strategy, leadership, and calculated risk. Coach Dan Quinn, ever the pragmatic leader, made it clear that while Daniels threw on the field early Wednesday morning, the decision to return him to action is far from straightforward. He emphasized that Daniels must navigate a return-to-play checklist before he even enters the conversation for Sunday's game, underscoring the careful approach the franchise is taking with their young star. This is not merely a game-day decision. It's a balancing act between protecting a talented player and ensuring the team remains competitive in a league where every moment counts. Quinn's approach highlights a philosophy that goes beyond the immediate urgency of Sunday's matchup. He won't practice today, Quinn explained, addressing reporters with measured candor. As we get into Friday, I'll give you a sense of where we're at. We recognize the importance of the person, the player, what he means to the franchise. We're also going to be smart, not just fast, in the assessment. These words signal an organization deeply aware of both the fragility and the potential of its key assets. For Daniels, the stakes are monumental. Having been the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year last season, his impact cannot be overstated. Selected second overall, Daniels played every game of his rookie season, completing over 68% of his passes, amassing 4,390 yards, throwing 30 touchdowns, and guiding the Commanders to the NFC Championship game. His presence on the field is a cornerstone of Washington's offensive identity, making every decision about his playtime a matter of strategic importance. Despite the concerns surrounding Daniels, the Commanders are showing confidence in Marcus Mariota, who will be stepping into the spotlight for his 77th career NFL start and his first start since 2022 with the Falcons. Mariota, 31, brings a combination of experience, composure, and leadership that the Commanders are relying on as they face a Raiders team hungry for momentum. In 3 appearances last season for Washington, Mariota completed an impressive 77.3% of his passes for 364 yards, throwing 4 touchdowns without a single interception. These statistics underscore not only his accuracy, but also his ability to manage the game effectively, a quality that will be tested to the fullest as he commands the offense in a starting role once again. The narrative here is clear. While Daniels represents the future of the franchise, Mariota embodies the present, and the team's success this week may hinge on his ability to seamlessly lead and execute under pressure. The backdrop to this decision includes Daniels' recent performance in Green Bay, where he was visibly limping near the end of the game, yet still displayed remarkable resilience. Completing 24 of 42 passes for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, Daniels carried the team through adversity, though he was sacked 4 times. His determination on the field is unquestionable, yet it also highlights the delicate nature of his current condition. Coach Quinn's insistence on ensuring Daniels completes at least 1 full team practice before considering him for Sunday's lineup reflects a commitment to both prudence and player welfare. This careful approach is crucial in a league where a single injury can alter the trajectory of a season. The Commanders' handling of Daniels' knee will be a key storyline as the week progresses, with fans and analysts alike watching for any signs of whether the young quarterback can return to form or if Mariota will once again carry the weight of the team's offensive hopes. For Washington, the pressure is palpable. The Commanders enter this matchup with a 1-1 record, and the outcome of the game against Las Vegas could significantly shape their trajectory for the early part of the season. Daniels has already shown flashes of brilliance in limited action this year, completing nearly 60% of his passes for 433 yards and 3 touchdowns in 2 games. Yet, the specter of injury looms large, and the team must navigate the fine line between maximizing Daniels' talents and ensuring he remains healthy for the long haul. In this context, Mariota's experience becomes invaluable. His ability to command the offense, read defenses, and make quick decisions under pressure will be critical, especially against a Raiders squad known for its aggressive defensive schemes and opportunistic playmakers. Beyond the X's and O's, there is a human element to this story that cannot be overlooked. Daniels, at just 24 years old, has already faced the intense scrutiny and high expectations that come with being a top draft pick and a franchise quarterback. His rookie season was a masterclass in poise, skill, and leadership, and now he is being tested once again, not by a playoff-defining moment, but by the simple, brutal realities of the NFL: injuries, physical strain, and the relentless schedule. For Mariota, this represents an opportunity to step back into the limelight, reaffirm his abilities, and reinforce his role as a stabilizing presence within the locker room. The narrative tension is palpable: a young star recovering from injury, a veteran quarterback ready to rise to the occasion, and a team teetering on the edge of both hope and uncertainty as they prepare for a critical showdown. Coach Quinn's statements convey a blend of realism and optimism. By emphasizing that each player has position-specific skills that must be accounted for before returning to play, he highlights the complexity of quarterbacking in today's NFL. It's not just about throwing accurately or making reads. It's about timing, mobility, decision-making, and the subtle chemistry with teammates that can only be built through practice. Daniels may be a phenom, but without a full team practice, the risk of rushing him back could undermine not just his performance, but the overall rhythm of the offense. Meanwhile, Mariota's proven track record and recent performance in relief roles provide a safety net, a reliable alternative that allows the Commanders to approach the situation with strategic patience rather than reactive urgency. As Sunday looms, the storylines converge into a single, compelling narrative. The Commanders, a team with a dynamic young quarterback and a seasoned veteran ready to step in, facing a Raiders squad that will test every aspect of their game. Fans are left in suspense, waiting to see whether Daniels can return to the field or if Mariota will seize the moment and lead Washington to victory. The stakes are high, the variables numerous, and the drama unmistakable. Every practice, every coaching decision, and every on-field adjustment carries weight, with implications not just for this game, but for the trajectory of the Commanders' season. In the midst of this tension, one thing is clear: the team's resilience, leadership, and strategic choices will define their path forward, and the coming days will reveal who rises to the occasion. In the end, this is more than a story about injuries or quarterback rotations. It is a story about perseverance, adaptability, and the relentless pursuit of excellence in a league where every detail matters. Marcus Mariota's readiness, Jayden Daniels' recovery, and Dan Quinn's meticulous management converge into a narrative that captivates not just Commanders fans, but anyone who appreciates the drama, unpredictability, and human drama of professional football. The coming days promise revelations, surprises, and moments of brilliance as the Commanders navigate one of the most intriguing quarterback situations of the young NFL season. Whether Mariota delivers a masterclass performance or Daniels returns to assert his rookie season dominance, one thing is certain: Washington's storyline this week is one of tension, anticipation, and the enduring drama that makes football much more than just a game. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. Jayden Daniels has finally broken his silence, and the words he dropped are already causing ripples throughout the NFL world. After a season riddled with controversy and whispers about locker room tension, Daniels didn't hold back in his recent comments, throwing shade directly at Falcons head coach Dan Quinn in a way that has fans, analysts, and even rival teams talking late into the night. "We played scared. That's unacceptable," Daniels reportedly said during an interview that many insiders are already calling a bombshell moment in Atlanta. There's something about a quarterback speaking so bluntly about the culture within a team that immediately grabs attention. For years, the narrative around Quinn has been that of a disciplinarian, a coach who demands structure and precision, but Daniels' words suggest that the other side of that story might be far more complicated and perhaps a little darker than anyone expected. The question on everyone's lips now is, what does it mean for the future of the Falcons and for Dan Quinn's standing within the organization? Sources close to the team indicate that tensions had been simmering under the surface for months. Daniels, a young quarterback with a rising reputation for his confidence and playmaking ability, reportedly grew increasingly frustrated with what he perceived as overly cautious play calling. Jayden is not someone who thrives under fear. He's a competitor. He wants to take chances, to create something out of nothing, a team insider told us, requesting anonymity to discuss internal matters. According to multiple accounts, Daniels repeatedly clashed with Quinn over game strategy, expressing concerns that the team was prioritizing avoidance over aggression, preventing the offense from fully utilizing its talent. There were weeks where he felt like he couldn't play his game. And when your quarterback feels like he's being handcuffed, it doesn't just affect him. It ripples through the whole team, the source added. The tension reportedly reached a boiling point after a particularly frustrating loss in a primetime game, where Daniels felt the playbook and coaching philosophy forced him to play with fear, prioritizing avoiding mistakes over making impactful plays. Fans and analysts are now dissecting Daniels' words as a thinly veiled critique, not just of Quinn, but of the entire coaching approach. When a player says, "We played scared," that's not just frustration, that's a cultural indictment. One prominent NFL analyst said on a podcast shortly after the comment surfaced. The statement resonates because it taps into a recurring theme in sports: the conflict between risk and caution, creativity and control, player instinct and coaching strategy. Daniels, by all accounts, is a quarterback whose strengths lie in improvisation, mobility, and reading defenses in real time. Asking him to operate in a rigid, fear-driven framework could, many argue, be counterproductive. He's not a statue behind the line. He thrives on chaos. When you take that away from him, you take away what makes him special, another insider commented. And if Daniels is right, the question becomes, how many other players have been quietly simmering under the same tension without speaking out? The Falcons' locker room, which insiders describe as tight-knit but politically charged, may now be facing a period of intense scrutiny. There are whispers of other players feeling the same constraints Daniels is describing, though none have publicly spoken out yet. The timing of his remarks is significant. Coming at a point in the offseason when the team is evaluating roster moves, potential coaching adjustments, and even broader organizational changes, Daniels' comments could have implications beyond just his relationship with Quinn. Some speculate that ownership may feel compelled to intervene if the quarterback, the face of the franchise, publicly questions the coaching strategy in such stark terms. In the NFL, it's not often that a player calls out a head coach this openly. When it happens, it usually signals that something has to give, an NFL executive told us. And yet, there's also a sense that Daniels' statement might be a calculated risk, a way to assert leadership and signal that the Falcons' offense can't reach its potential under a playstyle rooted in fear. Dan Quinn's response, if it comes, will be closely watched. Historically, Quinn has presented himself as a calm, measured leader, rarely engaging in public battles with players. But Daniels' comments, particularly the line, "We played scared," that's unacceptable, might force Quinn to either address the critique head-on or risk allowing the narrative to spiral unchecked. In football, perception often matters as much as reality, and a quarterback of Daniels' profile voicing dissatisfaction in such blunt terms inevitably shapes public opinion. For fans, it's tantalizing drama. The young, ambitious quarterback calling out a seasoned coach, suggesting that the team's struggles are as much about mentality as execution. Social media is already lighting up with debates, memes, and hot takes, with some fans rallying behind Daniels and others defending Quinn's approach as necessary discipline. The clash of philosophies, instinctive, risk-embracing quarterback versus methodical, control-oriented coach, is a storyline that writes itself. Beyond the immediate implications for the Falcons, Daniels' remarks also spark a larger conversation about quarterback empowerment in the modern NFL. Over the past decade, the league has seen a shift. Elite quarterbacks now wield considerable influence, and teams are often built around their skill sets rather than forcing them into predetermined molds. Daniels, by speaking out, may be signaling that he intends to assert more control over the offense's identity. He's not just complaining, he's staking a claim, an insider noted. If the Falcons ignore or suppress that claim, they risk alienating their quarterback, a scenario that has played out with other teams in recent years with varying results. The tension between player autonomy and coaching authority is delicate, and Daniels' public declaration suggests that the balance within the Falcons may be tipping. The rumor mill is already spinning with speculation about what could happen next. Some insiders hint at potential restructuring of the offensive staff, perhaps giving Daniels a more significant voice in play design and in-game adjustments. Others suggest the possibility of a more dramatic shakeup, including discussions about Quinn's long-term future if ownership believes the coach-player relationship has deteriorated beyond repair. While nothing has been confirmed, the mere fact that these rumors are circulating speaks to the gravity of Daniels' comments. And yet, there is also the possibility that this is just the beginning of a longer narrative, a story of tension, negotiation, and perhaps eventual reconciliation. Football, after all, is full of personalities clashing in public and finding a path forward behind closed doors. The Daniels-Quinn dynamic could be the next high-profile case study in this ongoing saga of player empowerment and coaching authority. Meanwhile, fans are left to parse every word, every gesture, and every play for clues. Daniels' bold statement is more than just a headline. It's a lens into the inner workings of an NFL franchise grappling with identity, leadership, and performance under pressure. It's also a reminder that while stats, wins, and losses dominate, conversations, culture, and psychology are equally critical in shaping outcomes on the field. How the Falcons navigate this moment could define their trajectory for years, and whether Quinn and Daniels find common ground or continue on separate paths may very well determine the fate of the franchise in the coming seasons. As the offseason unfolds, one thing is certain: the NFL world will be watching, waiting, and speculating, because a young quarterback's words have the power to shake the foundation of a team, and in this case, they might just be doing exactly that. In the end, Jayden Daniels' message is simple but powerful. Playing with fear is unacceptable, and a team's identity must reflect confidence, creativity, and trust. Whether the Falcons embrace this philosophy or resist it remains to be seen, but the conversation is now unavoidable. Analysts, fans, and rivals alike are dissecting every nuance, every implication, and every potential fallout. The drama, the tension, the uncertainty, it's all part of the narrative that makes the NFL not just a game, but a theater of personalities, ambitions, and conflicts played out on the biggest stage. And as Daniels' words echo through the sports world, one thing is clear: the quiet whispers are over, and the Falcons, and Dan Quinn, are officially under the spotlight like never before. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.